going to knit left-handed.
We'll cover casting on, the knit stitch, and the purl stitch. First you'll make a slip knot and you're going to put it on your knitting needle, and then you're going to put that into your right hand. You're going to be loading up your cast on stitches onto this right needle by using your left empty needle to make new loops. So first you're going to go up into that same slip knot into the same direction that your right hand needle is in, and you're going to cross it behind so that it crosses up and makes this like X shape. Then you are going to take your yarn. I like to kind of tuck my tail into the right side so that it's out of the way. And this yarn is attached to your yarn ball over here. You'll take that yarn around the back side and to the right of that back needle, and then between your needles, so you can see your wrapped yarn ends up between your two needles. From there, you're going to use your left needle to come down and bring that wrapped yarn down into the front, and you're going to measure it out onto your left needle. Now you have your old loop on the right and your new loop on the left, but you're trying to load new stitches onto the right. So you're going to take your right needle, go in front of that front bar of the new loop, and scoop underneath it and into it so that it's sharing the loop with your left needle. And after it's on the right and you've loaded it on, you can take your left needle out. And so now you've cast on a new stitch. And then we're going to go into that new loop again and cross. We're going to take our yarn and we're going to wrap it behind and then between. Once that new yarn is wrapped between, you can kind of see it hanging out over here, and I'm going to hold on to it. You're going to bring it down. You see how I'm stabilizing with my finger to bring through or knit through that new loop. But I'm still trying to load the right, so I'm going to come underneath and load it onto my new needle. So now I have 3. And you can keep doing this motion until you have the cast on number that the pattern is recommending. Now, there is a little bit of an efficiency here. If after you scoop up your new loop, you can just move your needle to the back side. You don't need to take it out all the way so that you can wrap the next stitch, knit it through, and scoop it up. Your slip knot does count towards the number of stitches on your needle, so you can count them up. In this one, I'm going to cast on 20. This is how it will be abbreviated with the CO and then the number. And the type of cast on is a knit or a 2 needle cast on. Once I have all those stitches cast on, I'm going to start my knitting stitch. So we're going to go in to this top loop just like we have been and cross behind. We're going to wrap just like we have been. We're going to bring it to the front just like we have been, but we don't need to scoop it up because we are not loading new stitches anymore. Now we are knitting. So instead, the loop we just went through, we push off the right needle and we have knit through that to make our first knit stitch. Now we go into the next top stitch on the right. We do our wrap, we bring it through and off the right again. In, wrap between, see? Bring it forward and through, measure it onto the left side, and then off the right. And we are going to knit across this whole row. And you see I kind of tensioned over here. You don't have to do that. If you want to go in, just wrap it around and just kind of hold it over here. You can also bring it through that way and off the right. We will knit all the way to the end, wrap, bring it through and off the final one. And this is what it will look like when you're done. All the stitches will end up in your left hand. The backs of the loop on the back side will be here. So when you switch hands, you'll put everything into your right hand again, empty needle in the left. And now you can start your new row by going up into that top stitch just like we had been. We don't want to knit with the tail, so I'm going to keep that out of the way. We'll wrap, we'll bring it through and off. And we're going to knit across this row as well. Okay, so I finished that row. I'm going to switch hands again to start the next row. Empty one in my left. Now let's try purl stitch. So this time, instead of the yarn in the back like we had for the knit, we're going to bring it to the front. And instead of going up into the stitch, I want to go down into the stitch. So you think down to dive for that purl stitch, right? So left needle, goes down into the stitch with the yarn in front here. We're going to bring the yarn around the needle this way, so up over the needle, and then it comes between our needles, just like this. And that new stitch gets pushed to the back with our left needle. Once you've made the stitch with the new wrap, you can pull it off of your right side. So we're going to go down into the stitch. We're going to take our yarn, we're going to wrap it around our left needle. We're going to push it to the back. So push the purl. We're going to go down, we're going to wrap, we're going to push it to the back and off the right. And I'm going to do this all the way across my knitting. So down, wrap, push, and off. And it should look something like this. Once I'm done with that row, this is what it will look like. I'll switch hands again, and you're going to notice that all of those back of loops end up on this side, and all of the legs will end up on this side. If we do a alternation between knitting a row and then purling a row. So while you're practicing, I would suggest knitting a row and then purling a row. So this one, since I do see the legs of these stitches, I will knit this one. So again, to knit, we're going to go up into the stitch, wrap our yarn, knit it through and off of the right. I do find that the lefties that I teach are very ambidextrous and pick this up really nicely, but I hope this helped.